Welcome back to Maximus Reactus, where we go big, react bigger, and break down the moments that move the game. Maximus Reacts in the building. We've got Trade Machine. Bobby Marks breaks down the Anthony Davis, Giannis trades. And we also got Shams. So let's hear what the experts have to say.
As we approach that key date of December the 15th, that is when 82 players become eligible to be traded. So let's welcome in our senior insider, Shams Trade Rumors now. Shams, you reported that several Eastern Conference contenders, they are preparing to pursue Anthony Davis here. What is Dallas truly weighing, and what could the trade market here look like?
Shout out to Shams and Malika.
They're weighing whether to trade Anthony Davis or reach an extension and a commitment on an extension in the offseason, depending on whether Anthony Davis is able to gel with this group, how this team looks over the next few weeks with Cooper Flag, and a more healthy team. And that's exactly what Mavs interim co-general manager and Matt Riccardi discussed when they met recently with AD's agent, Rich Paul at Clutch Sports. My understanding is Paul told him that he wants the Mavs to either commit on an extension in the offseason or trade AD. And so the Mavs will evaluate the next several weeks. There is no question around the league that trade talks to some extent will occur. And three Eastern Conference teams that I'm told will emerge as suitors for Anthony Davis are the Pistons, Raptors, and the Atlanta Hawks.
Wow. So AD is in the first year of a 1 or 3 year $175M deal. And he's eligible for a Supermax contract on August 6th. Interesting. Or in max extension, I'm sorry. So whatever team, he's going to be on a 4-year deal. Because at this age, he has taken the max. Pistons, Raptors, and Hawks. How would AD be on the Pistons? I mean, they're the #1 seed. Who did they give up? If they keep Cade and Duren and the shooters and AD, that would be crazy. And if you're the Pistons, you have to think, the Celtics are playing well without JT. You have to win the East this year. I think the Pistons have to be aggressive. The Hawks, I think they might be willing to give up more, but are they banking on keeping Trae Young, or are they trying to trade him? Nah, they have Kyrie. They're not going to trade Trae Young, so I'm expecting maybe Okongwu and a couple of young players. And then the Raptors, who are also playing well. That could be interesting.
Role players, picks, there's expiring contracts and picks. This is someone that spent his entire NBA career in the Western Conference. He's a 10-time All-Star. So clearly there's a group of Eastern Conference contenders viewing him as a game changer to reshape the East.
Interesting.
I actually agree with those Eastern Conference GMs, because his defense is top tier when healthy. This is, when healthy. And if he's in a limited role, like remember how Kristaps Porzingis was injured all throughout the Celtics 24 run and they still wouldn't ship? Imagine AD just coasting on the Pistons. They do the hard work in the regular season and he just gets healthy in the playoffs. It could be interesting.
Bobby Marks in here because we're hearing the Pistons, the Hawks, and the Raptors. So draw it up here, Bobby. What could a trade look like?
Well, I think Detroit is certainly the most interesting team, the best team
Shout out to Bobby Marks
in the Eastern Conference right now, and they do have all of the assets to go out and make an Anthony Davis trade. Remember, Anthony Davis was making 54.
So the Mavs payroll, they are on 204 M's. They're 50.1 M's over the cap, and their tax payout is 228.8 M's. Wow, okay, so it looks like the Mavs, even though they're in Texas, have a pretty heavy, or they do not dip into that luxury tax. So it seems like they're trying to clean AD's contract. It seems like the Mavs upper management don't like huge contracts. Like they saw Luka, his contract was going to be 300 plus M's. They were like, nah. That's actually crazy. But, yeah, Kyrie, he's still out. And then the Pistons payroll, they only have 166.8 M's. They have 12.2 M's over the salary cap. And they're 21.1 M's over, or for they owe in tax.
million. We've got to include a big expiring contract, and that certainly starts with Tobias Harris here. And then they've got some of these young players. Jaden Ivey's on an expiring contract. Ron Holland also here. Remember, they all have all their first-round picks to put in a trade. We're not going to do that right now.
Oh, they do have assets.
That works. That's kind of looking like...
Okay, so this is the first successful trade machine trade. It would be the Dallas Mavericks trading Anthony Davis to the Pistons on his current deal for 54.1 M's. They would trade Tobias Harris, who's an older player on a pretty... I'd say that's a decent contract, 26.6. Jaden Ivey, who's actually a huge piece for them, but that's a really good 10.1 M's contract for a year. So those are two expiring deals that you could flip this offseason, maybe get higher in the draft since they're tanking or they're not winning. And then Holland the second, who's just a decent young player.
Go out and do an Anthony Davis type trade. But remember, this is, as I said, this is the best team in the Eastern Conference. Do you want to disrupt what you have right now?
Bobby, I want to go with you.
Before they kick it or get to it, if you're the Pistons and you're the number one seed, you're giving up essentially an older veteran player in Tobias Harris who hits threes, and you're bringing in Anthony Davis. He could pick up just that role, right? And then you're also talking about Jaden Ivey, who I said played a huge bench role. Imagine AD off the bench for the Pistons, who are already the number one seed. And Durham's going to play center. The Pistons might be cooking something up.
Really quick, because you said something that is blowing my mind. This is the best team in the East. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So if you're thinking about AD adding, Jalen Duren's having an amazing year, 19-5. They're already fourth in rebounding percentage, fourth in defense. If you're a GM, why would you make this move?
Well, Anthony Davis is a top 20 player when he's on the court. I think that's the big mistake.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you.
Is pairing Davis with Duren, who's a free agent this summer. Then you've got to extend Anthony Davis. Do you want to commit $90 million to those two players in the near future?
Might as well do it.
Dilemma that you've got to go back. Remember, the trade deadline is not the quarter mark. It's basically you've got 20 games left in the season. It's a big question. Big gamble.
The benefit of the viewer here, Monica, when Janae proposed that and saying pairing Duren alongside Anthony Davis, your reaction to that was, yeah, there's a little bit of this going on.
Yeah. To me, I think chemistry is so fragile, and unfortunately, Anthony Davis has had an injury history. The Pistons largely have been durable in terms of their core guys, so I don't necessarily love that. If we were going to do this, Atlanta is the team that I've been curious about. They've been hanging out in purgatory, if you will, not terrible.
What's the name that we're going to give to these three? They're like a little group like Kill Bill or like the Spice Girls. But I need a name. Shaniqua, Mikhail. I gotta come up with a nickname for these three.
They've got athletes, and Anthony Davis, I think, is a better fit there, potentially.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, here's Atlanta for you, right here. When you're looking at it,
Ooh, Atlanta's offer. Let's see this, Bobby. So the experts are saying, who is Bobby Marks in the situation, trade machine, the Hawks. This is their assets.
$45 million. Now you're talking about
Cooper Flag and Kristaps Porzingis. Could that be an interesting duo?
Whether it be a Luke Kennard, some of your minimum players. Now here's the question: that Pelican pick that they have, that's basically you put it in the vault and you lock it up, and we'll see it in June here. They do have some other draft assets here when you're looking at. They also have a first-round pick from New Orleans or Milwaukee next year, some of their own first. So you could get to a Davis-type deal. You still have Trae Young under contract here, who is going to have a player option here. And then it gets back to, do you want to extend Anthony Davis with this group moving forward?
Four-time champion Klay Thompson. So, Shams, how are the Mavs approaching his situation here?
I'm told the Mavs.
Klay wants out of Dallas? Bro, the season started 2 months ago. The Spurs annihilated them on game one, and they said, all right, let's blow it up. W Spurs.
Opens was going to Klay Thompson market, and Klay Thompson himself, my understanding is, wants to be in a contending situation. He's someone that
he's an old head. What do you expect?
In 2024 free agency to join Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving off a team that made it to the NBA Finals, and now Luka Doncic is gone. This is a below 500 team. He himself got off to a slow start, but he has picked it up 40% shooting in the last 10 games, both ends of the floor. The Mavericks will be entertaining talks between now and the trade deadline.
Okay, so these are questions that they're going to be looking at.
Klay's in his second year of a, 2-year 59 M's.
On December 15th. 15th when more players are eligible to be traded. And then, of course, there is the big one, the huge question, and that lies in Milwaukee, where questions they continue to come up because the Bucks, they have dropped 10 of their last 12 games. Of course, Giannis is sidelined with that calf strain.
Giannis, you know who to come to.
The Bucks, they are sliding, and based on your reporting, Shams, there seems like there's a real sense around the league that this next month it could determine the direction of the entire franchise, right? Centering around Giannis's future. So what are the real pressure points, Shams, inside the organization right now, and how quickly could these conversations escalate if the losses keep piling up?
Wins and losses. That's the nature of the business right now in Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to play and compete for a second NBA championship. This is a Bucks team right now that's playing and competing for a back-end play-in tournament slot. And so they're 10-15 right now. Conversations are active and open as of last week between Giannis' side, his agent Alex Saratz's, and the Milwaukee Bucks. And my understanding is the locker room can also feel the tension at play here and the harder dialogue that could occur, how this team shapes up. The rest of this month, they have 6 of their next 9 games on the road. So this is a tough schedule coming up that the Bucks have. So it'll come down to wins and losses, how this team looks before the February 5th NBA trade deadline.
Okay, and right now there are more losses for the Milwaukee Bucks that are piling up than wins, at least as it stands right now. So Bobby, we know that Giannis has said in the past that it would make sense he wants to go to New York. So make that work for us.
No, don't go to New York.
I think it's important first to look at Milwaukee, what they don't have to offer here. Draft picks. They
don't have a pick until 2031. Wow.
2032 pick to go out and actually upgrade the roster. They actually don't control their pick until 2031. Wow. So when you're looking at it, if we bring New York in, and this is not cut and dry, because this is a Knicks team that has the second best record in the Eastern Conference here. When you're looking at Giannis, and we're putting Kyle Kuzma in the mix here just to get the numbers to work, it certainly has to start with Karl-Anthony Towns. Him and Giannis' contract actually work identically, same amount here.
Okay.
We took the signing restriction off Mikal Bridges, who can be traded as of February 1st. And when you look at this deal, remember, no tradable first. This deal works.
Right.
2 core pieces out of the trade.
Sorry, his bro's so big he's been. So, wait.
First.
So the trade offer would be the Bucks. Oh, they have to give up Anthony Towns. Ooh, I don't think so. Giannis and Jalen Brunson are not enough. I'm sorry. Especially if you're losing Bridges too.
This deal works.
Nah.
Right.
2 core pieces out of this Knicks team.
Yeah,
no. A hard decision for that Knicks front office.
Hell no.
Monica McNutt, you cover the Knicks incredibly closely, and our show is on, and you know, various TVs around, various new Knicks facilities here. When they see things like that, is this something that you play? Are people talking about this, or is this sort of okay? We're gonna just see what happens.
People are absolutely talking about it, and just like Sean said, Milwaukee feels it. New York has felt it. Karl-Anthony Towns has voiced how much he enjoys being in New York, and obviously understands the nature of the game. But I think what Bobby said is something that I think about as this could potentially unfold. 2 key pieces of the team that has been building over the last 4 years in terms of chemistry, and they're not bad. On paper, could we look at the various differences between Giannis Antetokounmpo and Karl-Anthony Towns? For sure. Like, I take nothing away from that, but I do think it's not that this team is not performing well this year, and chemistry is very delicate.
Monty, now it's your turn. I want to pick your brain because I think a lot of people, maybe the average NBA fan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a guy who averaged 30 points per game the last 3 years, 12 rebounds on 60% shooting. Of course, you take a top tier 1 NBA guy.
I'm trading for Giannis every day of the week.
Make the case for why maybe you bet on this board for the Knicks?
Well, exactly that. I think anytime.
But not to blow up the roster.
Right?
That'd be
the
stupid.
only outlier in terms of add superstar and win a championship was the Toronto Raptors when Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in 1 year. And so you're mentioning just for the exercise, making the case not to do this. You want to make this move in February.
Yeah.
You've got, 3 months to really acclimate, right? It's going to cost you not just one of your key pieces, but it's going to cost you another starter.
Right.
That starting unit has been working on this chemistry and the equity that they have for 2 seasons now.
And I will say the other case is maybe that you get Giannis so that you extend your championship window outside of just this year where you're narrow goop.
Not to mention, what are you looking at? Oh, wait, that's me bumping my head on the ceiling that is the Oklahoma City Thunder. For you, right now,
OKC trading for Giannis would be illegal.
he is the #1 pick in this draft.
I would have to write several notes to Adam Silver.
His floor might be lower than some other players, but his ceiling is as elite as any player in this draft.
Okay, so we've been scouting AJ. Should definitely go check it out. He is a monster. I think he's 6'10", handles like a guard, can dunk it, can pass it, score on all 3 levels. Shaky in the clutch, but very confident and also a team player.
That's why he's the number one pick.
Yeah.
So far, at
NBA
least.
for tonight in MSG.
And you have all of the real-time data here. You've been watching these guys play. But Bobby Marks, you actually have been drafting these guys in a previous life. So in your mind, do you agree with Sean? Is AJ the number one pick here?
I will tend to disagree with
I don't think he's number one. I'd personally take Cam Boozer, but I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't even be shocked if he
Now, it's
was.
not just based off this one play we're going to show you. I think there's a 6'9" forward down at Duke who's been pretty good so far. This is the Florida game last week.
That's my team, and that's the player I said.
16
I know
seconds
ball.
left. Duke up one. Watch Cameron Boozer up top, switch on Boogie Flan, who had just hit a 3, and then shift over and basically pick up Flan again.
You should check my video. I react to
End of
this.
game, ball game here. What NBA executives like, 7'1" wingspan, the ability to guard
7'1"
defenders here right now. We still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
23-10 so far for an undefeated Duke team.
How can being Boozer?
I have never seen Darren Peterson play basketball. I've made videos about the guy. The one game he played my team, he sat. I feel like he's like load managing college.
Very much so in this mix, all right? We heard Darren say, hey, I've got a little Devin Booker in me. We got a little team back here. If you want to comp for here, how about Kevin Love?
Sure.
Versatility.
Kevin Love, I actually agree. He has that long outlet pass. He plays tough defense. He gets a lot of rebounds. Kevin Love for Cam Boozer, yeah. But maybe a mix of like, I don't know. That's a good comp, though.
Passer. The concern I have for him, again, his floor, best floor in this entire draft. He's the most polished freshman in college basketball. His ceiling, though, is a little bit lower than those two guys over on that.
Only because when he gets to the next level, he's not going to be able to bully ball as easily as college. That's like the thing. But these guys have better handles and can create their own shot better.
Side because of the lack of athleticism that he has. He's not going to be able to overpower. He overpowers a lot of players in college. I wonder if that's going to translate and overpower the same
literally
level
just said that.
we're seeing in college at the NBA level.
It's the depth of this draft class. I'm really interested to see how
By the
it
way,
plays
saying
out.
Kevin Love is not a slight.
Right, as we
Kevin Love at UCLA with Westbrook, good player. Him on the Wolves, one of the like rare times I'd ever watched the Wolves when they were bad, and I was like, this guy is good.
Junior.
And then LeBron ruined his career. That's gonna do it. Giannis, come to the Spurs.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the Maximus Empire. Remember, go big, react bigger. I'm Max. Catch you in the next one.